Hey everybody, Dan Fisk here with Empower Associates. Today I want to talk to you about updating and enhancing your LinkedIn profile. So I'm going to be going through a few pointers that you'll want to keep in mind, whether you're on a job hunt as a candidate or whether you just want to keep your profile up to date looking good. So I'm going to run through common pitfalls that people make when they create a profile. And I'm just going to go top down. So we'll start at the top. The first thing you'll notice is you'll want to choose a professional profile pic. Now this is a very common mistake. A lot of people put a profile pic they might use more on a Facebook or other social media, a little more casual. Maybe it's a picture where you see them standing, off 40 feet away. You'll want to choose something where face takes up about 50-60% of the profile pic. You'll want to dress professionally. The second thing you'll want to do is add a background photo. Now, if I use mine as an example, I run Empower Associates, so I'm constantly trying to talk to top recruiters and sales reps out there and tell them about our platform. None of these links are clickable, but this basically is the banner from our website. So again, engaging, catches your eye. I've got my 3 bullet points there that I like to advertise. A good banner that conveys your brand. The next thing you want to pay attention to is your headline. Now again, this is a common mistake people make. When you set up your profile, it'll ask you your title. And so for example, my title in my current company is CEO. However, I don't want to just put CEO. I want to convey more meaning. So I put in staffing and recruiting leader. Also, a lot of people think that they have to put their title at the company they work at. Again, it's just preference. I like to keep it simple. If they want to know the name of my company, it should be pretty obvious soon, or they can just see it in my current role. But again, the next most important section is the About section, or their summary section. Now you can see a couple things you'll need to keep in mind. LinkedIn, like a lot of web applications, truncates the language, the paragraph. So, but that's okay. It's not. Don't feel like you need to have an About section that's just 2 sentences long. People who are interested in you are going to go through the effort of clicking see more. Okay, so first of all, don't worry about that, but make something concise. Describe what you do. Throw some accomplishments in there. It's okay. This is basically the header of your resume, if you will. But take a minute to describe yourself. The next section you'll notice is the featured section. This is rather new in the last few years of LinkedIn. It allows you to upload videos, links, articles that you've written, other media. Again, whatever you would like to put there that conveys. Here I've got a series of videos that I've got on YouTube, and it just inherits all the information from that channel. And of course, the person, the user, the visitor of your site can see all the videos that you have there, all the posts. You want to feature whatever it is that is impressive about you, whether it's a project you've accomplished, whether it's an award you received, whatever you feel would be important to feature about yourself that is more media as opposed to written. Skip here to the activity sections. The activity section is just that. They're going to see what posts you've done recently. Next, you'll notice is the experience section. And again, this is where a lot of people fall short. They'll write something like their name and their title and their dates, and maybe a sentence or nothing. So you definitely want to expand on that. You'll want to put, even if it's a sentence or two about what it is that you do, what your company does, what you do. You have this added feature where you can also feature, again, projects, accomplishments, links, any videos right there that have to do with that actual job. This is your opportunity to brag. Again, talk about your accomplishments. For example, when I was at Robert Half, these are all the things that I accomplished. So anyone looking for me, if they wanted to hire me as a senior recruiter, again, go back as far as you want in your career. And then of course your education and all the other things that you can put there. I get pretty detailed here, but on to skills and endorsements. Now this has been around for a long time on LinkedIn. This was kind of their main thing that they would do to help you advertise and accentuate exactly what your skills are. And then it secondarily allows people to endorse you. So if people see a skill, they can actually click endorse. These are numbers of people who've clicked. So of all the people who visited, I have 54 people who've actually said, oh yeah, staffing services, that's actually something Dan does well, etc. So I chose these, it just shows a bunch of them. Also important are recommendations. Again, give before you receive. Give recommendations out there, and also you'll notice it'll come back to you and folks will endorse you. These are also really good. It's an opportunity for former managers and colleagues to basically give you a letter of recommendations, all here in one area. Different accomplishments you can put in, whether it's a language or other things you've accomplished, different interests or groups. Let's talk about growing your network. Not something you can do overnight, but it's something I want to talk about in this video. So, I didn't get to the amount of connections I got to overnight. It took me a long time. It took me over a decade, actually. But what's important is it doesn't take that long to grow your network. So you can search on people in your industry, different influencers you want to follow is also really smart. But take the time to start to take your network seriously and try and grow it. It's only going to help you later when you start to engage more in the platform, whether it's making posts or comments. But the other thing you want to keep in mind beyond growing your network is spotlighting kind of the services or things that you offer. Again, that can be in the About section, but really taking a focus on what you're trying to accomplish. Beyond the things that I've mentioned here, there's actually some new features on LinkedIn, and it's within the skills section. It's take a skill quiz. Basically, it's the opportunity where you can go in, for example, if you're a software developer, if you're a marketing SEO specialist, etc., you can actually take skill assessments, and then you get a certification at the end of this assessment. And again, you could search all their assessments, go by industry, etc. But at the end of this assessment, they'll give you a certificate that you can actually have a badge you can actually put on your LinkedIn. So that might be useful. So take time to explore this as well. And then beyond the skill assessment, I mentioned sharing media before. I want to kind of come back to that. Take a minute to decide what kind of content would be that I could share. Obviously, most people don't have videos of themselves, but they might have, again, projects, summaries. They might have awards. They might have different accomplishments they want to feature. So take time to do that. And taking all of these things into account, I think that you'll be able to then start to grow your network, and you'll effectively use LinkedIn as a platform. Well, that's about all I have for you today. Thanks so much, and talk to you next time.